All right, so a bird dog is pretty much a dead bug, but just flipped over. It's a little bit more challenging to keep a neutral spine because you don't have the feedback of the ground to press your low back into it. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna set up in the quadruped position. So you want your shoulders to be over your wrist, hips to be over your knees, and your toes to be curled underneath. So from here, you wanna make sure that you find a neutral spine, right? So we don't want our belly to dip down like this, so we're gonna tuck, and you don't want to be completely rounded. So just find some sort of neutral position. I'm going to really lock my abs in place and take note of how this feels and the position of my pelvis right now, because it's going to change as we start to kick our limbs out, or it's going to want to change. We want to try not to let that happen. Here again, neutral spine, and then don't let the head hang down. So we're going to pull the head back up. So I have this nice long line from the top of my head down to my tailbone. From here, you're gonna kick your opposing limbs out. If you wanna start with just your arms, you can do that. And your objective is to keep everything else stable. So you don't wanna shift from side to side in order to do this. Okay, if that feels good, we can do it with our legs. Now this is where it becomes more challenging. You're gonna lift your leg up and kick out. The common mistake that people make when they're doing this exercise is they let their belly dip to the ground and they extend their leg backwards by using their low back. We want to make sure we're using our glutes and our hamstrings to extend our leg backwards. So what you're going to do is, again, we find that neutral position, we lock it in place, and you're going to go nice and slow and just kick out. So you're focusing really hard on maintaining that tension in the core. What you will notice is that your leg won't be able to go as high as you're used to, but that's okay. You should feel your glutes and your hamstrings really fire up when you do this, and then you can bring it in and switch to the other side. Right? I'm going slow so that I can really focus on not losing that tension in my core. So if that feels good, we can start to work with the opposing limbs. So if I'm using my left leg, I'm gonna also extend my right arm forward. So same thing, I find that neutral position, lock it in place, and I'm gonna extend right arm, left leg. So a little bit more of a stability challenge now, and then we're gonna bring it in. Okay, here. Focusing on not letting that belly drop. When I'm doing this one, I tend to like to complete all the reps on the same side. You can even connect your elbow to your knee, or you can put your hand and knee back down to the ground between each rep. But I ideally like to work and do all the reps that I need to do on one side first, and then I'll switch over and do the other side. And it just makes it a little bit more of an endurance challenge to do that. So give it a try.